We've been exploring some of the different options in building a lance. This idea of a lance of 4 mechs: light, medium, heavy, assault, support, recon, and looking at some tactica to approach the ideas of lance building. Now, certainly there are numerous combinations to build the lances, but what we're looking to do is to ask the questions based on the battle value, based on the machines that we want to bring. What is the focus of this lance? How are these 4 mechs going to work in unison? We're paying the battle value, and I want to have that focused. I want to get the most out of that battle value, get it out there earning on the hex map, as opposed to having mechs do different things, and this mech is doing something this turn, but these 2 mechs aren't as part of a lance. But at the same time, not only having that focus, but taking the approach of looking across the table at my opponent, my fellow mech commander. How are they going to try and stop this lance? What are they going to do to try and prevent my tactica? And within that framework, using it as a guide. Now that we have that framework, in exploring it, looking at an assault lance, how do we leverage that? Right away, there's a duality. I've got a little bit more leeway. If I make some mistakes in the tactica, not that I want to, if I make some mistakes with the mechs, not that I want to, I've got some good armor. I've got some staying power. So on the one hand, an assault lance is a little bit more forgiving than, say, a light lance, where I can eat a PPC or 2 on my assault lance or a spread of a 20-pack long-range missiles. I can't take that on a light lance without having it cripple or really destroy something. But at the same time, the battle value, right? The classic Steiner recon lance, that battle value that I'm putting into an assault lance is massive. I need to be focused and earning every single turn. The consequences of that are a lot more extreme than if I'm not as focused or I make some tactical mistakes in terms of positioning with my light lance. Okay, it's a lesser battle value. Third framework. With the tonnage that we have for an assault lance, I'm going to be mounting a variety of weapons. Primarily, I like to build a lance that's going to focus on close range work. Autocannon 20s, medium lasers, short-range missile packs. Because I'm trying to take advantage of 2 things. The first thing that I'm trying to take advantage of is the fact that I've got the raw tonnage to mount multiple weapons. The second is I've got some staying power with that armor to be in the fight for a little bit. And the third is taking advantage of the physical attack phase. Now, certainly I can punch and kick with a light mech, but punching and kicking with a heavy mech, or in this case, an assault mech, an assault lance, that's going to be devastating. A punch, a 1 in 6 chance of striking the head. Kicks that'll just shatter a leg and just cut through a mech. If I'm going to be that close with the shorter weapons, the medium lasers, the autocannon 20s, the short-range missile packs, if I'm going to be up there and leverage the most of those, then I might as well try and push another hex or 2 and get up and punch with that. So I tend to be very, very aggressive with my assault lances. Point, click, get them forward with how they're moving. Now, how important is speed? One of the things that we explored in the light lance for a framework, and I pushed that up to the Battletech playlist here last week, is with a light lance, not only does the speed keep me alive, but I need to be moving. Just an example, if I take 3 locusts and an urban mech, Irby's not going to work because Irby's going to slow down those locusts. And at the same time, if the locusts leave Irby, well, I don't have all the battle value out there earning in a focused way, but now I don't have the urban mech in support. So generally speaking, with lance design, I want to have the machines about the same, how they're going to work. With an assault lance, yes, there's some faster assault mechs and there's some slower assault mechs. Speed is not as important. I mean, it's important. I want to get forward, but if I have a machine that's a little bit slower, that's okay because it leads to our next tactica. I can't chase everything down with that assault lance. I want to get up there close. Well, I can't chase everything down because I don't have the massive amount of speed. So I need to, with an assault lance, look at the mission, look at the hex map or the tabletop where we have tactical advantages, and figure out where my opponent is going to be. Where are they going to be? And it has to be a place that they cannot easily give up, do not want to easily give up, or cannot give up based on the mission parameters. An example would be if we're doing a recon type mission where we have to hold certain points on the hex map, or say a building city fight, city tech. If I know you have to hold the central hospital for supplies, that's where I'm pointing my assault lance. Yes, you're going to be fortifying it. Yes, you're going to be using those things. That's where I'm going. Likewise, if we're on a map where one of the classic hex maps where there's a lot of open terrain, but we've got a group of woods that's going to give some cover and give some advantage, that's where I know you're going to go. So that's where I'm going to point those machines. I can be a little bit slower because I'm on my way in and I know where I'm going. So yes, speed is important, but it's not as important with an assault lance because ahead of time, I know where I'm going to go. So within that framework, turning it over, what mechs would you select? How would you build an effective, a deadly, a motivational assault lance for Battletech?